She got massive, man. She's so strong as well. It's crazy. Alright. I can't believe how big she is. You learn that dogs yawn isn't because they're tired, but because they're comfortable or excited. Oh, really? She's just excited to see you guys, huh? Does Ellie ever react to the plushie animals or Pokemons? No, she knows what are her toys and she knows what's not. If she doesn't get given something, she will very rarely go after it. So she's never once... She's had like a little sniff of the plushies, but she's never once like tried to do anything with them or take them for herself. She very clearly seems to know what is hers and what is not, which is quite impressive. Alright, ByuN Cham. Let's see what happens here. Wow, ByuN's got a camera. It's a very rare day that ByuN has a camera, I swear. Usually this man is cameraless. So, TvZ, if ByuN can 2-0, we go to an ace match for the second time today. They're like, huh, Wardy has a bad voice because of COVID? Let's just do as many ace matches as possible. Wouldn't that be great? Oh, if 3 matches in one day, we just like everyone's, you know. But ByuN's on my team. ByuN knows that I'm not too well, so he's like, I'm going to proxy rack to try and speed this up a little bit for Wardy. I feel bad for the guy. Thank you, ByuN. I appreciate it. Barracks are going to be seen here in a second, or are they not? Cham's just going to sit here with the Overlord, so he doesn't get the scouting information for now. We'll have to play, for the moment, blind. And now he's going to see the Marine and the SCVs moving through. And he sees that SCV coming from an odd direction as well, so I wonder if he can figure out that this is now a 3 racks. I was going to see ByuN go into the front, and we'll put the first bunker down. He doesn't have the money for another just yet, so now we just start to chip away, and we wait for some lings to pop, and that's going to be when the first fight happens, as the drones are going to start pulling. I was going to say, it's starting to get a lot of HP on that bunker, so you do want to start trying to maybe get rid of that at least one time here. 3 Marines, though, now 2-shotting drones. There's a cancel on the bunker. Oh, the ling actually blocked that bunker from going up again. Now the creep spread does. Okay, 4 Marines, though. I mean, we haven't killed any Marines, which gets scary. We might even need a spine crow, especially because this is 3 racks. Not having a spine seems a little terrifying, honestly. Lings not doing too good trying to move forward. Now we're going to start 2 spines at once, but maybe a little bit too little too late. Second queen coming down the ramp. And the 2 queens are in different directions, so they can't exactly pull away together either. All the lings are gone, and now it's going to be drones to fight here. At the very least, ByuN is getting good damage done. That queen's going to go low. We're going to still have 3 Marines coming out at a time. This queen's dead. This is really bad. I mean, we're going to lose at least one of these spines. And if we don't kill off us, well, he actually gets the cancel on it. I was going to say, I mean, you can still chase for drones, and this queen perhaps is probably in trouble too. We're going to start going for the other spine, so it's not going to be very healthy. Going to pull the drones in now because you've got to try and save the spine, but I think this has just gone too far wrong, of course. Only 11 drones left from Cham, and this should be one that ByuN is capable of wrapping up. So you see, Marines is going to continue going for the hatchery. Just going to have the queen hold him back. I mean, we are going to end up on, what, 2 spines? We're going to have the broodlings here. 1 Marine goes down as it eats a spine crawler shot as well. We actually now lose a 2nd Marine. Don't know how much it really matters just now, though, right? It seems as though ByuN has obviously done fantastically great trade. And the problem with these spines now is that this creep will disappear. Okay, he's going to get a creep tumor up. If the creep disappears, then obviously the spines just die with no creep on it, so a little awkward. It's nice to get the creep tumor up, but I'm just going to sit here, man. CC's coming online. He's ahead by a base now, essentially. And he's going to be very happy with where he's gotten to in this game number 1. Proxy wax working out wonders. So yeah, bunker up, getting this ready to go. Things on the counter-attack at the speed is not going to be enough at all, which is, I think, kind of obvious from the start, but GG's. I mean, good to try, right? Got to give it a go. ByuN is going to get the first game win needed for the Shopify Rebellion to stay in this series and maybe see an ace match. So, Cham continue to do his thing where he picks Terran maps for whatever reason. Cham spawns bottom right, and ByuN is going to spawn upper left as we get into this round of action. Map number 6 of this best of 7. Are we going to go all the way for a second time in a row? We very well might. We very well might. Definitely, I think the possibility is very much so there. Let's see what goes down. If ByuN's a 76, we're all a 20 at best. On the plus side, guys, our earnings probably wouldn't be too different. You know, because apparently, if you've only earned $100,000 in StarCraft 2, that's a 1 on the scale, which is kind of funny. Because, like, you know, I feel like earning $100,000 in StarCraft 2 is worth a bit more than a 1, but obviously it's, I thought it was kind of funny. Maybe I've been too kind when I've been making the Twitch chat hexagons in the past. Maybe I should have had you guys down at like zeros. Unbelievable. $100K's chump change. You've seen the inflation. All the DreamHack EU guys right now are really happy that they get paid out in dollars instead of euros. Rogue's the only one with 10 in earnings? Well, Cyril would have a 10. Maru would have a 10. Yo, Chadman2 999, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs. Let's go, dude. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. As this Reaper Micro goes down, I'll read these out right now. Let's do it. Let me watch ByuN's Reaper Micro. Going out to Dings26, Pet Peter ATC84, Mustang, Mr. Dingleberry, Yeah It's Way, Disrespect SC2, D64, D64, Belden 0082, Disposable, and Dagala87. Thanks so much for the generosity, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Chad Mandu, for the 10 gifted subs. Hell yeah. We've done it. I think we broke 600, guys. Probably, maybe. I think. Hypers in the chat. Got ourselves a slow setup then. Obviously just the Reaper harass initially. Cham will not take that backward base for now. That's a base he'll just put what would usually be a macro hatch onto instead. So changing that up a little bit. You just put a few creep tumors out the front, spreading out forward. I'm just gonna have that Reaper. So just keeping an eye on things, right? Keeping some map presence. We'll be teamed up with the Hellion shortly. We even have a medevac on the way. Are we going to put down an armory, ByuN? Are we just going to try and kill poor little Cham here real quickly in this game and not really give him a chance? That definitely seems like the intentions right now, so heading that way. There's the armory on the way up. And Cham, a little bit of a later ling speed, right? And he could just die, right? If he has no ling speed for this as well. That's going to be kind of rough. We've got 4 Marines in the medevac coming in to support this. You've got the Hellions that'll come across the map in a second. And Cham's preparation is currently just a 0. Yeah, this is really rough. It's just drop a creep teammate down, another creep teammate spreading forward. Here we go. Hellions going to move into Hellbats, and Link speed is going to finish at least for the fight start. Ooh, nice moment for the Lings to run in there because the Hellions were morphing into Hellbats in that moment. So actually got some free damage without taking any. Then maybe getting a bit too far forward before morphing the Hellbats. That's sort of 2 Queens. He's in the natural expansion. That's always dangerous. Probably going to go, I think, up the ramp makes sense because you've got the choke point against the Lings and you have a direction you can pull the medevac in to keep it out of range of the other queens. And those queens have some non-creep spread area to run over, which is going to slow them down. And that does keep your medevac a little bit safer here overall. No spore in this mineral line, so the medevac, again, is just going to keep on healing and providing a lot of power onto this group of Hellbats, keeping them healed up nicely for as long as possible. And we saved 2. Honestly, felt like that should have done way more. Felt like Cham was in a lot more trouble than that when this fight started. So credit to Cham, minimizing the damage dealt, and yeah, ByuN just not able to quite get it done in the end. Jeez. Wonder if the lower earning pros have side jobs if they earn enough responses and wins. It depends who. I mean, if you're saying pros, then you're not really kind of... I think a lot of people are full-time. There's a lot of people, usually it's very typical to study alongside playing StarCraft, I would say. But working a job is kind of rough because it's difficult to, like, make the scheduling work while working a job, even part-time, right? Because, like, you have tournaments that can be happening at all kinds of times of days and stuff, so... I'd say the majority of players in, for example, like, majority of players in DreamHack Europe are all not working jobs. But then different regions, some players will be working jobs and stuff, but it just depends where you kind of have the cutoff point, right? Like, where do you call it a pro? And you take paid time off to work in DreamHack? Yeah, just need to play a DreamHack. Might work if your boss is a StarCraft fan, huh? These Banshees are putting on some pressure, canceling extraction and stuff. Getting a little annoying. And this Cham is just going to move up in towards Bane speed, so looking to play Ling Bane here. Cham has been a little bit more kind of consistent when it comes to what styles he's playing in TvZ. I would say in the past he was much more of a Rochi guy, but lately he has been playing a lot more Ling Bane stuff, so it's kind of cool. We're going to morph those Hellions into Hellbats. That feels kind of wild. Just going to walk these up the ramp and what? Just die? Gonna pull them back, get them away. I'm not sure what ByuN was thinking he was going to find there. I don't know what sort of opportunity he thought was lying in wait, but I don't think whatever he wanted to find was there because he just moved away from that pretty much immediately. A couple of Hellbats in the main though, actually going to get a few drones and deny some mines, so at least finding some damage. Gonna get through another drone going down. So actually 6-7 workers. There's some damage going down on the 3rd location, on the 4th location. It's the Banshee that gets a few more kills as well, I believe. So, and now we're getting a lot more drone kills because the Banshee over here is doing damage. So, Observer not doing great at keeping up with the action, but there is action going down all around there. It's happening for a few moments as we suddenly see ByuN. That amount of damage done. Now he's got a bio push coming as well. Is that being able to set him up for this bio push to be successful? Well, maybe. The Lings and the Banes come through though, and ByuN ends up a little bit surrounded. Is going to end up pushed back, and Cham is going to hold this position for the moment. Combat shield coming through. Extra Marines loading into these medevacs, and we are going to start boosting down to the bottom side of the map. Extra barracks going into the corner of the main base. ByuN again trying to force this into an ace match for the Shopify Rebellion here against Team GP today. We are going to go and load into the main when we're just going to have a bit of bio. Chasing down a queen initially, a few drones starting to go down. Widowmine shot. Finally going to go off on a couple of banelings, but yeah, this drop really not too great. Good defense from Cham. He's keeping it together right now. Keeping himself alive, keeping himself kicking. So far, so good. Can he keep on dealing with these larger attacks? He's getting up to Hydras, which generally puts you in a pretty good place to stay alive, if nothing else, so sign up for that at the moment. These medevacs are going to dart through the bottom side and into the main. We're going to see these couple of Hydras coming through. Just going to go after the medevacs. the attack on the right side is going to be the deadly one, perhaps. I mean, the actual drops have been shut down pretty well, but yeah, this attack on the right side, well, was going well, but ByuN, you can see it in his face, didn't get across there to actually pick up those units, and the baneling's connecting big time, doing some serious damage. The lines are going to be picked off right there. Hydra Queen clearing those out. This ByuN in some trouble. The Shopify Rebellion may be about to lose a Team GP. ByuN does have 2-2 upgrades way further along than Cham does, so that's something that ByuN can maybe lie back and depend on here to help him out in these situations that otherwise currently are not looking ideal. Let's be realistic. Bane's just gonna come morphing in. Gonna go dropping back on the main. These medevacs though going through the spores. Taking a bit of a beating as they do so, but they are alive to get here, and drones start going down. At the same time, ByuN is pushing the right-hand side. If you do have to leave, though, you lose one medevac to the Hydras. If you do have to leave, I was going to say back through the spores. It's going to end up leaving through the bottom side, which meant that he didn't actually have to go through those. So see these two bands connecting as well, and Cham, he's holding on. He's got a lot of money to spend, but he does need to spend it. If he doesn't spend that cash, then he's going to be in some trouble. Hive is on the way up as well, by the way, so getting into that later game, really able to start drawing this out to those much later points now. What is he going to do with the Hive straight away? Spire's finishing up with the Hive. We got like rush brutes. That Widow Mine was quite nice, just left behind. Not cleaned up properly. ByuN getting some value out of it at least. On his way to his Ghost Academy, realizing he'll probably need that to help him along in this. Gambling Bane going to continue up, pushing back. This few Lings just going to keep on moving forward. These medevacs might be in some trouble. If Cham just target fires the medevacs down, that'd be huge with those Hydras, no? I feel like it would have been great to shut the medevac count down. Again, Cham has so much money he's just not spending right now. Just struggling to truly spend his money properly, I would say. Real shame. Run back in over here. I'm just going to see another scan. Some creep being cleaned out. Once again, we're going to try and drop in the main. Only these spores are set up to try and stop this and deter this from happening, but it's not stopped ByuN one time, really. It's making Corruptors. I just don't know if he's going to get to Broodlords, man. And he doesn't have the units over here right now. Oh my god, okay, that was a lot of supply ByuN just lost in those medevacs, but... well, this army over here needs to be cleaned up as well, and then we can maybe morph Broodlords, and then maybe Cham has a shot. Didn't think he was going to get up to the Broodlords the way this was starting to go. He might lose this hatch. Not the end of the world. I don't understand why now is the time you chase in when that hatchery dies. I mean, with the Broodlings, I guess? But it feels like now you've got no reason to chase. I guess it doesn't cost you too much if you go with the Broodlings, but yeah. First Brood's coming out. The problem with the Broods is it's going to slow your game down a lot. You can't be all over the map. If you're playing Broodlords, it's just not how Broodlords work, right? So it's definitely going to create some questionable moments here from Cham as to how he's going to move around and defend. Still has always just had a bit of a bank to spend in this game. As he has that once again right now. He's still building Overlords. I'm not sure how supply blocked he was. He's been making a lot more than he needed. So he's seeing the few Broodlords coming down. That might be a good moment to take the bottom right corner base, no? The pocket expansion might be good at this stage. You know, some less position on the map to have to defend. A few ghosts that are coming through again. The snipes off and starting to clean this up. And Broodlords are not going to die at the very end of this. Cham is going to be down on supply, and I think ByuN is probably here now, just about traded well enough that this is going to turn out to be okay for him, but he's what an effort. What an effort just to take this through to an ace match, huh? Man, Cham really, I mean, just couldn't really keep up with some of the attacks. I really feel like going to Broods just slows you down so much, no? There's a reason you don't play a Broods TvZ until like a super late game, and just slows down everything, which I feel like is usually what you're aiming to get done. I don't know, I feel like the Broods were a mistake. You could have Lurkers up and all sorts, like you could have had Lurkers up really easily before you had Broods up in this game, and that would have been amazing. I feel like Cham's choice to go Broods is definitely a bit funky, and that alongside a couple other things is unfortunate he couldn't close this game out. Looks like ByuN is going to get it done, as he just needs to get rid of these random Broodlords, and he should be able to engage much more easily. We drop a bunch of snipes down, and we get rid of the Corruptors, so the single Viking here is going to continue to work through the Broodlords, although the Hydra should be able to kill it. Two Banes coming in, trying to let the Widow Mine go off. The Broodlings will not activate the Widow Mine, though. Not yet. Broodlings coming through, and there is the GG from Cham. ByuN gets the 2-0. My goodness, what an effort it took. That was not easy in the slightest. That was way more of a struggle than I think ByuN was probably expecting, and wow, kind of an unexpected base. Prince Scarlett. No TvT. I think a lot of people thought ByuN, but it's not going to go that way at all. Oh, how very interesting. Alright then, we'll see how this goes. I'm kind of excited, actually. It went 1-1 earlier. We'll see how it goes this time around in a rematch. And here we are in game. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Protoss player in the bottom right is Prince. While in the top left it is going to be Scarlett. Comes down in game 7 for the Shopify Rebellion versus GP. And the last match of the regular season for these two. We will be seeing Shopify in the playoffs. This will be the last time we see Team GP this season. So yeah, interesting one. Not really got an answer as to why we'd be picking these two. I mean, Scarlett, maybe just Scarlett feels good against everyone GP sends out. Maybe ByuN's not feeling it today. Very possible. Maybe Scarlett wanted the ZVT. A couple of shoutouts, by the way, just coming through while I was BRB, guys. So Perfect. Oh my god. So Perfect Gar. Thank you so much for the 3-month resub, and Birdman Warrior for the 9 months in a row. Thank you so much, dudes. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. And let's see what happens in the world of TvZ. So it was 1-1 between these two earlier to start off the series. I think we got one more best of 7 after this as well, by the way. Just a quick reminder of that for you all. Looking forward to Alpha X versus Sidestorm Gaming. Looks like we're going to get there. My voice at the moment is still alive, so that's a pretty big bonus. As do you have our probe of Prince. Can move out on the main and get things going. Did they play this map earlier as well? Sorry, my brain's still a bit foggy this week with the COVIDs. They did, yeah. This was actually Prince's map pick after Scarlett won map 1. Now that makes it even more interesting that they actually ended up sending Scarlett out here. Interesting. Very, very fun. like I say, kind of a lot of play, a lot of different things going on. Let's see if GP can get a W. It'd be a little sad for GP if they get the W now. They would end up on 12 points. I guess it's way off any sort of playoff potential. But like I say, if they do get a win, they could potentially... no, they actually can't overtake Liquid. So yeah, for GP, because it's a win in an ace match, they just wouldn't be able to overtake Liquid even on map score or anything, so... Yeah, unfortunately for GP, actually, this doesn't really have much meaning at all. Which is actually kind of sad, because if they'd won without the ace match, it could have. Same with Shopify in a way. I mean, if they win this in the ace, I mean, they do. Actually, Shopify could do with a win, because if they win, they will still be out of reach for Psystorm no matter what. They guarantee themselves top 4 if they win. It's actually kind of an important game, as 5 drones already going down to the first Adept. Wow, and we make it 6 as well. The Adept turning around, getting through those lings. That's got to sting a little bit for Scarlett, who absolutely did not want to be losing one more drone on top of what was already a pretty successful first attack of those Adepts. Nine drones. Oracle died at least, so that is something to take note of. The Oracle going down. WardiTV popping out, just going to come across the side. It's a great start for Prince. And he's going to go Overlord hunting now as well. Sees this one over here, gets rid of that easily. Again, this map allows you to take your base count nice and easily and quickly as well. So you've already got 3 bases coming up very quickly, very easily. And yeah, just taking a while for Scarlett to get back on track with the workers because of that early damage taken. Getting Twilight and Robo. Will be done in a moment, so Prince will have that typical next step of this matchup kind of underway, which is usually the blink nowadays, although we have been seeing a little bit of non-blink plays as well at times, so you know, I've seen some people switching it up. We've seen some charge openings into those Archons as well, and that's exactly what we're going to see this time around, so a bit of charge opening here from Prince. Again, a lot more of the kind of let's get aggressive and let's go and do things now. In the earlier game on this map, it was Scarlett that she was just into the mutas when Prince launched a huge attack, right? And if Prince hadn't had the huge attack, Scarlett would have done very well because there wasn't a lot really going on, right? Otherwise, you know, because if the mutas had been able to do that thing, there was not really much anti-air, and I feel like actually Prince would have been in trouble, but he hit at the perfect moment, and right now it's set up in a similar way to that. We'll see if Scarlett opts to play mutas again, or if she's going to try and approach differently. It feels tough to go into mutas after so much damage taken already early in the game, though, so I wouldn't expect mutas, but we shall see. Now just roaches, we do morph in some Archons on the left side. It's going to start Archon pressuring, and maybe even that Zealot warp in that we saw previously as well could be utilized here and brought into play, so definitely a few different options still available. Doesn't get turned around pretty much immediately though, so that doesn't do very much. And we've seen ourselves going to go in, going after that hatchery, and just going to have the Queens not going to be there to save it really with the roaches. Can't chase the Prism down that far. It was kept very safely to that left-hand side, which is exactly what you're needing in these situations. The Archon's coming through, getting rid of one of the Queens already, and now we're just going to have the Void Ray coming in. Oh, the Prism dies though, and Prince, you can see him talking to himself there, knows that that's disastrous. Everything lost in this attack, and that is going to give Scarlett a huge opening in this game, because now she doesn't have to worry about those Prism attacks, harassment, or anything like that. That makes Scarlett's life so much easier. Villager is still set out in the center then to try and act as a bit of a defense in case just roaches come across the map. Scarlett's going to say, meet my swarm hosts. Scarlett going to move into that. It's a good map for swarm hosts. There's a lot of ledges the swarm hosts can fire over and into, so you know the main base is exposed from the western side, so that's a good place to launch swarm hosts into the main. There's a lot of potential for the swarm hosts on this map, and that makes it makes a lot of sense to then go into them here, so not too crazy in that regard. There's a couple of corrosive bars coming down. This army of Prince moving over the left-hand side. Our swarm hosts are lining up on the low ground at the moment. And we're waiting for the first wave of locusts to come firing through. See just how successful they can turn out to be. There we go. Locust going to land down. Didn't do a lot of tanking here. Honestly, you can already see it just against Zell. There's just nothing that really gets rid of them quickly, unfortunately. Super Battery obviously does help to absorb some damage, at least, as we are going to be seeing for now. Scarlett pushed back, but Wave 2 will be coming shortly. And this time there will not be Super Battery to help defend it. So we're going to have to be really on point with our defense, and Scarlett's going to maybe try and go from a slightly different direction to keep Prince on edge as well. Here we go with Zealot's trying to press through. Not going to do much, as the Queens will get rid of that Void Druid. Not that that was really being too threatening. The Natural is kind of exposed. Oh, we're going to get the Archons. The Archons are one of the things that do probably clean up the Locust better than anything else. I mean, all of this is already coming off the back of that Prism and Archon loss earlier. And now we are going to get rid of maybe some of these tech units as well. There's so much Roach Ravager. We might just stick around here as Prince does not have the numbers. GP will not get a consolation win at the end of the season. This is going to be Shopify Rebellion again. At least some extra points on the board that will guarantee them top 4 of the league. Nobody can knock them off of the top 4 position. Even if Psystorm get a W, they would not have the map score to knock Shopify Rebellion down. Scarlett getting it done on the rematch. And again, that Prism loss really setting the tone for everything that happened there on out. Lucas already in the natural. There's a disruptor trying to pop out here, trying to do something. Lucas is chasing some of these disruptors. They kill one. One of them does connect, but that's Prince's final stand. GG. Scarlett gets it done. Shopify Rebellion pick up another win. They will end the season 8-3. Not bad, but had to go to a lot of ace matches to do it, which affected their points.